The question hung in the air, more dangerous than any security system. Who are you? For a split second, Ava's mind went blank. The architect, the student, the daughter, all personas were burned away by the heat of his kiss, leaving only raw, undeniable want.
His body is pressed against mine. I can feel the proof of his desire hard against my hip. My mind is a siren, screaming threat, compromise, abort. But my body is answering him.
She pushed back, not with the force of rejection, but just enough to create a sliver of space. Her hands were still tangled in his hair. His were firm on her hips. They were both breathing hard, their faces inches apart.
I asked you a question. A graduate student doesn't look at blueprints with the eyes of a general planning a siege. And they definitely don't kiss like that.
Maybe I'm just very committed to my thesis.
She pulled her hands from his hair, smoothing down her shirt. A futile attempt to restore a composure that was already shattered. Oliver watched her, his eyes dark and knowing. He didn't believe her for a second.
Get out. Get out now. You have what you need. The plans, the weakness, the honeypot, but he's the real honeypot, and you're the fly, stuck and stupid. Avoiding his eyes. This was unprofessional. I apologize. Thank you for your time, Mr. Davis. The information on the ventilation shaft was illuminating.
She turned to leave, but his hand shot out, grabbing her wrist. His touch was electric, stopping her cold.
Ava, whatever you're planning, be careful. Isabella Rossi isn't some academic rival. She's ex-Mossad. People who cross her don't just fail a class. They disappear.
He released her. The warmth of his fingers lingered on her skin like a brand. Ava gave a tight, unconvincing nod and practically fled from the room, the sound of her own frantic heartbeat drowning out the ticking clock. Back in the cold, sterile heart of the Aegis Command Center, the memory of Oliver's kiss felt like a fever. Ava forced it down, burying it under layers of data and holographic projections. She had a heist to finalize. There was no room for error or emotion.
Focus. He's a variable you didn't account for. Now, account for him. He's a weakness. Your weakness. File it away. The mission comes first. Rossi expects a direct assault. She expects a thief. She doesn't expect a conductor.
Ava pulled up the museum's live security feed, cross-referencing it with the official patrol schedules she'd acquired. The plan was a symphony of timing, each movement precise to the second. But then she saw it. A flicker of movement on a camera overlooking the east corridor. It didn't match the schedule.
No, that's not right. Patrol C7 isn't due in that sector for another 48 minutes.
Her fingers flew, pulling up the raw data logs from the museum's internal servers. There it was, buried in a subfolder of updated duty rosters, uploaded just 2 hours ago. A new, unlisted patrol. A 2-man team, sweeping her exact infiltration path at the precise moment she was meant to be disabling the vault's external power grid.
This isn't random. This is surgical. It's not an adjustment Rossi would make. It's too overt, too convenient. It's a message. Someone knows the plan. Someone on the inside.
Ava strode out of the command center and directly to her father's study. He was standing before his chessboard, contemplating a move.
Your symphony should be reaching its crescendo, my dear. Is there a problem with the orchestra?
There's a leak. The museum just added a new patrol. It's not in any official schedule, but it cuts right across our entry window. It's too specific to be a coincidence. Someone knows the plan, Father.
Richard finally looked up from the board. His expression wasn't one of alarm, but of mild disappointment.
A leak? Unlikely. More likely it's Rossi being clever. A last-minute variable to test for weaknesses. A good security chief is paranoid. You of all people should appreciate that. Adapt your plan. A true conductor can handle a musician playing out of key.
This isn't an out-of-key musician. This is a sniper in the audience. Julian was the only other person with access to the full operational timeline.
Do not let your rivalry with Julian cloud your logic. He is ambitious, not suicidal. Leaking an Aegis operation is a death sentence. He knows the code. This is your test, Ava, not his. Solve it.
Richard turned back to his chessboard, picking up a white knight. The dismissal was absolute. Ava stood there for a moment, the cold reality washing over her. She was on her own. Shaken and furious, Ava walked down the long, silent corridor, her mind racing. Her father's denial was a wall she couldn't break through. He wouldn't see what he didn't want to see. As she passed a darkened alcove, a figure stepped out, blocking her path. Julian.
Trouble in paradise? You look stressed. The academic rigors of grand larceny proving to be too much?
Get out of my way, Julian.
She tried to step around him, but he mirrored her movement, his larger frame dominating the narrow space. He leaned against the wall, casual but predatory, a faint, condescending smirk on his lips.
I heard you went crying to Daddy about a leak. Poor little girl. Scared a security guard might see you? Maybe this game is too rough for you.
He took a step closer. The air grew thick with his expensive cologne and a palpable sense of menace. He was deliberately invading her personal space, forcing her to tilt her head back to look at him.
I know it was you.
Do you? Proving it is another matter entirely. You see, you think this is a math problem, a puzzle on a page. You move your little X's and Y's around and expect a clean solution. But this world has friction. It has blood.
He was so close now she could feel the heat radiating from his chest. He lifted a hand, and for a terrifying second she thought he might strike her. Instead, he gently tucked a stray strand of hair behind her ear, his fingers brushing the sensitive skin of her neck. The touch was shockingly intimate, a gesture of ownership. It made her skin crawl.
Don't flinch. Don't give him the satisfaction. He's a wolf, and he's smelling for fear.
He leaned in, his lips hovering just beside her ear. His warm breath was a vile caress against her skin.
A real leader anticipates chaos. You only read about it in books. Let's see how you handle it when real blood is on the line.
He pulled back slowly, his dark eyes boring into hers, filled with triumphant contempt. Then, with one last lingering smirk, he turned and walked away, his footsteps echoing down the marble hall. Ava stood frozen, her hand flying to her ear where his whisper still seemed to burn. She was trembling, not with fear, but with a sudden, absolute certainty. The test wasn't just stealing a diamond anymore. It was about destroying him.